just doing some technical adjustments here.
All right.
As we make sure these microphones are working, and we are ready to get in. Is this the 5th game today?
It is game 5.
Game 5.
All the preliminary rounds are done.
They are. And who is going to be playing?
Right now we have the number 1 seed, the St. Louis GateKeepers. They are 9-0 this year. They're going to be going up against the number 8th seed, the Magic City Misfits out of Jacksonville, Florida. They are 3-3 this year, including their victory this morning over Philadelphia. Thrilling 197 to 195 point win.
I think that was the best game to start this tournament with. Absolutely amazing. 3-point game and
2-point game.
2-point game.
Oh my goodness.
But we are going to have a little talk about these rosters. So in the white, we have the St. Louis GateKeepers, and we have 0260 Spin Diesel, number 1, The Saint, 22, Nate Bauer, 314, Double XL, 32, Shane Bauer, 386, Metcalf, number 5, Bruno Scars, 506 is Matthew Uttendorf, 5150 Hulk, 618 Led Zeppelin, 66 Screech Around, 7 Magnum, 73 is Kyle Stark, 82 Percy Control, and 86 is Wrecking Bill.
And who are the coaches for the St. Louis GateKeepers?
The St. Louis GateKeepers coaches, we have Downtown Dallas, we have Mr. Pink, and we also have High Definition.
And for Magic City, they'll be skating in black. Number 10 is Rolomite. Number 111, Milo Garcia. Number 12 is Becker. Number 130, Kurt Copain. Number 151 is Mister. Number 19 is Streak. Number 21 is Kendall Smash. Number 22 is On Point. Number 23, Go So Hard. Number 27, Bratz. Number 3 is B.A. Allman. Number 37 is Beastie. Number 44 is Chef. Number 515 is Just Mike. Number 69 is Christopher Harrell. And number 8 is Icky. Coaches for Magic City are Snot Rocket Science, Slaytoven, Tankerbell, and Christina Harrell. We'll do the referees and officials when we get a chance, but right now we are underway. Who's out on the jammer line, Gogo?
That is Magnum and Rolomite, 2 jammers that have faced off against one another a number of times. It is Magnum with the lead jammer status, but Rolomite showing off those speedy skills not far behind.
All right. 1 point for St. Louis, and the jam is called. Already our first lead change here in Jam 1, as is usually the case.
That is. Start as you mean to go on with points on the board.
I said Magic City would be in black. I am mistaken. Magic City is in green.
I think we have a nice contrast with the green, though. We've got green and yellow, kind of more of an emerald green, and a little bit of lime green for our St. Louis GateKeepers. We have Shane Bauer and Bratz as our jammers for jam number 2 of game number 5. And it looks like Shane Bauer at the front there, 1 to beat, and has picked up lead jammer.
Yep, 2 leads in a row for St. Louis.
Bratz having a little bit of difficulty with those St. Louis blockers.
Bratz goes into stealth mode to try and complete the initial pass. That's a 5-point pass for Shane Bauer.
And it looks like we have the star in hand for Bratz. Not about to pass it off, though, keeping that star in hand at the moment. And Shane Bauer approaching that 4 wall at the front, and then choosing to call off that jam.
Yeah, the initial pass had been completed by Magic City, so to prevent any scoring, jam is called off. 8 points, highest jam of the game here in jam number 2, brings St. Louis up to 9.
Do you want to tell us our fabulous non-skating officials?
It would be my great honor. We have Mel O'Trauma, Jack Attack, Zoonotic, William Moore, Snippy Snap, Margie Ram, Lady Sharknago, Crystal Vice, Goldie Gloves, and our head NSO is Cairo Fracture.
And we will get with our referee list just in a moment. We have Screech Around and Kendall Smash. Is Screech going to screech his way around, or is Kendall going to smash his way through?
There you go.
It is Kendall Smash as lead jammer for Magic City.
Yeah, they're first of the game.
I was about to say it seems like they're first of the game, but you know, with 3 jams in,
yep.
so. And Kendall Smash on a scoring pass, giving a little call off there, and picking up a nice 4-point pass while we're at it.
And keeping St. Louis scoreless for the first time this game.
And we're just going to tell you about our fabulous referees. We have Darth Bling, Nitsugi, Doesn't Matter, Olin Grill, Robin Uberlind, PK Biddy, Captain Dantastic, and Dilly Gaff. And we are very grateful to all of our refs, our NSOs, and our volunteers. It's been a fantastic day so far, but we have so much more.
Out on the jammer lane right now, we have Magnum jamming for St. Louis and number 130, Kurt Copain, jamming for Jacksonville. Multiplayer block is the first penalty of the game. That's going on number 515, Just Mike for Magic City.
And we see Magnum having a little spin at the front there with two strong blockers from Magic City, 2 beats. Magnum just having that little bit of trouble there. I think that might have been a no pass, no penalty, but did not pick up lead.
Yeah, lead's still open. And now we will not have a lead jammer as the helmet cover comes off. So our first jam with no lead. And our first 2-minute jam of the game.
And we can see Kurt Copain having a little bit of trouble there with our St. Louis blockers. A little bit of difficulty getting around, which is giving Magnum the opportunity to put some points on the board.
Got a directional play penalty called on Double XL. They'll head over to the Rydell penalty box.
And Percy controlling Kurt Copain and making sure that he stays by our pivot line.
Yeah, we got a multiplayer coming in. Lots of calls on that multiplayer. Nobody leaving yet.
And that is a star pass over to Becker, I believe.
Yep.
But Becker picking up a penalty there.
Becker might have been the one that they were calling the multiplayer off. Illegal procedure also being indicated. 2 5-point passes and a 4 for Magnum, and Magnum is not done yet.
No, Magnum is definitely a jammer that you want on for a power jam situation because definitely a well-versed jammer, and I think he kind of might know what he's doing when it comes to jamming.
So St. Louis triples their score here in jam number 4, jumping from 9 to 27 on the back of that 18-point jam.
Yeah, really good jam for St. Louis. Just checking if we're starting with a jammer in the box for Magic City.
It appears that we are.
And it looks like it might be Kurt Copain.
Yeah, who got the star pass.
That is Shane Bauer with a lovely, lovely swoop through that pack there. But we do have Becker returning to track, and Kurt Copain is standing right now.
Only one skater left in the Rydell penalty box. That is a St. Louis blocker who is standing. And now we're back at full strength. We have a star pass? Yeah, star pass to number...
Number 12, Becker.
Forearm penalty assessed. I thought Becker started as the jammer.
No, I believe it was Kurt Copain.
Ah, gotcha. Excellent. Thank
who had
you.
a penalty. Might have been an illegal star pass. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to speculate either. What I am going to speculate is that is 10 points on the board for St. Louis.
There you go. Nothing but the facts. Nothing but the facts.
With another 3 going on there. So right now, 13-point jam. Magic City are on 4, and St. Louis Gatekeepers are on 40.
Yeah, 10-1 margin, 40-4 heading into jam number 6. These two teams have actually played earlier this year. Gogo, I understand you were on the call, or may have been on the call of that game?
I'm pretty sure I was on that call. We were talking about the score earlier. Was it 210 to 111,
a 99-point victory for St. Louis. That was at the Midwest Brouhaha back on June 2nd, 2018. Lead jammer has gone to St. Louis.
Yep, that is Metcalf as lead jammer, and doing the smart jamming thing by going, you know what, I might have cut that, I might have done a cut there. I'm just going to go back and go back into the pack. And it looks like Metcalf has a knight in shining armor getting ready to do some offense. Led Zeppelin.
There you go. Send in the cavalry. So 2 points picked up by Magic City. They're scoring every third jam and keeping St. Louis scoreless every third jam.
And those 2 points scored by Becker there. Who are we going to have as our next jammers? I feel like two familiar faces on the jam line.
Yeah, number 7 is Magnum. I can't see from my vantage point.
I do believe that is a Rollermite.
And we have a timeout.
10.
An official timeout.
And our official timeout, we're going to spend some time talking about our fantastic sponsors. Our penalty box is sponsored by Rydell. Shout out to Rydell Skates for sponsoring the 2018 MRDA Championships.
And out on that 5-stride skate shop jammer line, we have Rollermite and Magnum.
Both of these jammers are titans of the game. Magnum just little apex hop there to get out, but Rollermite, as always, is never really far behind. Magnum swooping around. That was number 515, missed her. And was that the full? No, that was just 3 points for St. Louis.
Death by 1,000 cuts and an 18-point jam, but yeah, St. Louis scoring both big bites and little bites.
Yes. You know, we're looking at these teams as, you know, some of the top teams in men's skating. And, you know, when you get to this level, you know when to push your boundaries and run a score. And you also know when to be like, you know what, let's just grab these couple of points and then head home.
So Shane Bauer out on that 5-stride jammer line for St. Louis. And number 21, Kendall Smash, taking the spotted helmet, the spangled helmet cover for Magic City.
And Kendall Smash is doing some fantastic footwork there. Just that jumping footwork to try and get through is at the front, and Kendall Smash has picked up lead jammer for Magic City, and this is exactly what they want right now.
Yeah, that pack had extended all the way from turn 3 across the backstretch to turn 2, now coalescing into turn 3.
Yep, and Kendall Smash is back around and on a scoring pass right now. Some nice offense by teammate number 3, that is Altman. And Shane Bauer is out, now on a scoring pass.
Hold on, we got a track cut. This jam will go the full 2 minutes. Lead is lost, our second 2-minute jam of the game.
I think our jammer got waved back on there. It might have been a miscall, so.
And then called off the jam.
Yes.
All right. I stand corrected. Good thing I work in erasable ink.
That's why erasers were invented. Because, you know, sometimes, every now and again, little mini mistakes happen, but we catch them in time. And we will see if these blockers catch these two jammers in time. It is Screech around, and it is Streak. Streak being drawn back there. That is by number 0260, Spin Diesel.
High block on the St. Louis jammer, so this jam, power jam now for Magic City. 2 lead jams in a row for Magic City, 3 of the last 4.
And with lead jammer comes the ability to choose to call it off. And you know what? Streak is not going to do that right now while on this power jam.
Yeah, not on a power jam. Wrecking Bill sent to the penalty box for St. Louis on a track cut.
Oh, a nice attempted like a kind of jump spin mid-air there by Streak. Not quite successful, but going back in for more. And we just have a cluster of skaters on that apex trying to stop people getting through.
Initial pass completed with a star stash by Screech Around.
Some lovely little hopping footwork there. It's one thing we do get to see, some nice footwork from these wonderful chaps in green, because it's both teams that are wearing green, so I'm going to...
First double-digit jam of the game for Magic City. They've nearly doubled their score on that last set of whistles. And St. Louis held scoreless for 2 jams in a row. You don't hear that very often.
No. Looking to change that, I think we have Metcalf up for St. Louis, and Bratz is jammer for Magic City.
Jam number 10 underway.
And we currently have an empty penalty box.
And we got a track cut. That'll solve that. Number 73, the St. Louis pivot called on a track cut heading to the Rydell penalty box. Lead jam has gone to Magic City. That is 3 in a row, 4 of the last 5.
This is the momentum that Magic City are looking for in this game, getting as many points on the board against St. Louis. It's a difficult feat.
Nice block by 515. Just Mike. That's going to take the Magic City jammer all the way to the backstretch. Got a track cut coming in. That's number 314 on the track cut.
That is double XL. And we still have Metcalf having a little bit of trouble there from getting through. And a nice clear path opened on the outside.
Back block is the call on 515, Just Mike. Heading to the Rydell penalty box. Each team now with 1 skater in the penalty box.
See, I shouldn't have mentioned the penalty box earlier. It's the announcer's curse.
These skaters were going to foul each other. It was bound to happen. That's why we have all those stripy shirts out there.
And we are very, very thankful for them. So.
Oh, looks like we have a jammer penalty, a track cut. So this will go the full 2, our third 2-minute jam.
Yep, we had a track cut there caught by Kyle Stark, drawing our Magic City jammer back. And this is going to give Metcalf the opportunity to eke out St. Louis's lead.
That'll do it. 4 points on the board for St. Louis. An additional 5 on the board for Jacksonville, sorry. For a total of 10, that matches their high score and brings them up to 31.
So at present we have, I want to say that's 16 points between these two teams. I feel like that's easy math.
Is indeed, and it's a 3-2 margin roughly. It's 16 times 3 is 48, 16 times 2 is 32, so roughly a 3-2 margin. Only jammer on the track right now is for St. Louis. That's number 7, Magnum. Bratz starting from the penalty box on that track cut from jam number 10.
Magnum trying to do some matrix moves around missed her there. Thankfully not kicking anyone in the face, because that's the problem with skates. They're a little sharp and pointy sometimes. But sharp and pointy is also the hips of some of these blockers.
Oh, yeah. First lead jam for St. Louis since jam number 7.
And it looks like Bratz did a little stash there, but Magnum spotted that. Magnum spotted that and was like, no.
You're not fooling anybody.
No, we have smart jammers on the track.
I'd like to give a shout out to our production crew. Most of them are from Lane County Concussion Roller Derby in Eugene, Oregon. We have Grimes and Punishment, Photobomber, Mega Pickle, Craft Beard, Packet Racer, Posh Rooms, and a bunch of other skaters and volunteers rounding out the production crew. Much love to the production crew this weekend.
We are very thankful to everyone who is volunteering. And, you know, we want to give a big shout out to all of our volunteers, because, quite frankly, you and me wouldn't sound this good without that production crew.
Amen.
And these skaters wouldn't look that good. And you know who looks good right now? Kendall Smash.
Yes, picking up that lead jammer status.
Shane Bauer being drawn back to the pivot line there. And it looks like we're going to trade that off, because Kendall Smash is also being drawn back to the pivot line. Everyone likes that pivot line.
That Vault 31 pivot line. Vault 31, our sponsor of the pivot line. They are a bar opening up in Vancouver, Washington in early 2019. Let Vault 31 be your destination for roller derby watch parties, esports, music, and more. You can visit vault31bar.com for more information, or find Vault 31 on Facebook and give the page a shout to be liked or to be updated on events.
I mean, everyone uses Facebook for updates nowadays, so I'm going to suggest going to Vault 31's Facebook page. Give them a like. Keep updated. It's all good. You know what else is good? Screech around and streak on our jam line. Our jam line is sponsored by 5 Stride. Both of those jammers are off.
Lead jam white, and the jam is called. Oh, we got a down skater.
Yep, and we are going to have a timeout. And, you know, it's another good time to talk about our sponsors. The team benches are sponsored by Apex Wellness Center. Jump over to Apex Wellness Center, offering chiropractic, massage, and acupuncture to help you get back on the track. It's located in Portland, Oregon, integrated healthcare at its peak. And we still have a timeout now, but it looks like we have players coming back onto the track.
Yeah, if things remain the same, St. Louis is going to send the same jammer out. And Magic City going to swap out Rulamite into that jammer spot.
I was going to say, we also have a lot of international skaters who have represented their countries. And it's wonderful to see. We've got some Team Canada, we've got some Team Ireland, Team Scotland, Team England. I think we might even have some Team Wales as well. And apparently some Team USA.
I imagine there might be 1 or 2 Team USA skaters.
Just 1 or 2. It turns out that we've got St. Louis Gatekeepers will be hosting the next Men's World Cup.
Sweet.
Yeah, I read that in the
What year is that going to be?
That is going to be, I think it's 2020. I'm just going to double check because, quite frankly, I wasn't really prepared to segue into that.
Things we do with extended official timeouts. I had the privilege of working the Women's World Cup this year in Manchester, England, the Men's World Cup in Barcelona, Spain, and the Junior World Cup in Feasterville, Pennsylvania. All 3 World Cups under my belt this year.
Yep, and, you know, if you want to check out some of these, or if you want to, you know, get yourself involved in your World Cup team, it will be in St. Louis in 2020, St. Louis, Missouri, July 9th to the 12th. Have a little summertime vacation in Missouri.
There you go. Missouri loves company. Hey-oh.
That is fantastic, and I'm using that. It looks like we are having an official review.
Yeah, the official timeout has morphed over into an official review. We will keep you posted once we know what it's all about.
And we also want to give a big thank you to Left Turn and Hit This.
All right, we got the official review.
Magic City is challenging the cut call on their jammer. They contend the jammer had 1 hand out instead of 2.
And that information brought to you by our wonderful referee crew. So they're going to confer. They're going to have a little think and figure it out. But yeah, we are going to tell you about, we have Left Turn clothing, and also in-house this weekend we have Hit This. So before you hit the track, hit this. Also, you know, if you are in the Oregon area, I would invite you to come down to Salem this weekend.
Yeah, you can be as far as the way up as Seattle and still get down here fairly easily. The Pacific Northwest, come on down, check us out here in Salem, Oregon at the 2018 Men's Roller Derby Association Championship. Head on down, Interstate 5, I-5, we call it the Grapevine in California.
2 hands were observed to be down. Magic City does not retain the review for the half.
So on further review, play stands is called.
Yeah, Magic City losing their review, but they'll get another one in the second half because we're only 1 half into this game.
So according to my notes, the jammer on the last jam was number 19. There must have been a track call and then the injury. So number 10 is going to be serving the penalty.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
And that means that Screech Around is on a power jam or power jam start.
Yeah, power start, jamming unopposed, taken all the way back to the second turn by number 3 on the green team. That's B.A. Allman. Forearm penalty coming at the top of the pack. St. Louis losing a blocker. That's number, was that 69? Nope, there's no 69.
Nope, that is, I think that is Led Zeppelin.
Another St. Louis skater headed to the penalty box. Oh, and it's the Jammer.
And that has given Rollermite the opportunity to ricochet out of our penalty box and onto track. I don't know if he had lead.
No, a track cut called. I believe Screech Around might have had lead before he went to the penalty box, but I'm putting so much time into my paper that I'm forgetting to look at the track.
We'll get some information at some point. I'm sure the stats will be available, but what also is available right now is an open track with some points. Both of these players are going to want to get some. We will see Screech Around back on track and on a scoring pass.
Nope, that's the initial according to the Jam ref.
Is now on a scoring pass.
Yes, it's now on a scoring pass.
That is Just Mike attempting to hit out there, but screeching round.
And that's the initial for Magic City for Rollermite.
I think we only have 17 seconds left in this game, so we'll see what is able to happen.
That is a 5-point apex leap by Rollermite.
If anyone's going to apex leap, it's definitely going to be Rollermite.
Rollermite had a great game this morning earlier against the Philly Hooligans. Talked about a little bit that coming into the game. Fantastic matchup to start the tournament this morning.
Absolutely. If you didn't catch that game, I'm going to recommend you look at the archives once those are available, because that was a phenomenal game to start our weekend off.
Timeout St. Louis, and look at this. Here comes Magic City, only trailing by 14. They had trailed by as much as 34, by as much as 37 earlier.
Yep. As we said before, Magic City losing to St. Louis by 99 points in the previous matchup, and Magic City hoping to make that a little smaller.
Yeah, to make a little magic.
Yeah.
Cast a score embiggening spell.
Well, you know, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be those Magic City.
Yes.
And it looks like we're having a little confer between the captains and the benches there. That is Mr. Pink and Snot Rocket side.
Gatekeepers are asking for a cut call on the Magic City Jammer. They contend the Jammer landed out of bounds and therefore cut the entire pack.
Oh, so that is not a timeout. That is an official review by the Gatekeepers.
So they're both using their official review with just under 10 minutes left in this first half. As we said, though, the wonderful, if you aren't familiar with roller derby, each team gets an official review per half. So if they win or lose this, they will get another chance to maybe use an official review if they choose to. And I think we are going to bring it back out to our ref crew shortly, once they've given that information to our skaters.
Yeah, and they're communicating now with the benches, and the bench coaches are walking away.
Okay.
Let's listen in.
Upon review, the Magic City Jammer remained totally in bounds throughout the maneuver. No cut call will be made.
So the no call
St. Louis
stands.
will not retain the review for the half.
No call stands. Neither team is eligible for that full muffin when you get all 4 official reviews, right?
Yep.
Not going to happen this game.
I mean, an official review is it's a little difficult to win, and you do find some bench coaches like, yeah, I managed to win this official review one time. It becomes like a badge of honor.
Sure. And to win all 4, that was first done by Coach Muffin. That's why it's called the full muffin, when you win all 4 official reviews. Coach Muffin out of Ohio, or so the legend goes.
Or so the legend goes.
All right, jamming number 21 on the green team is Kendall Smash, picking up lead jam.
I don't know about the stats, but I feel like Kendall Smash has had some fairly consistent lead calls for Magic City during this game.
Kendall Smash is 4 for 4 on the jammer line, according to my notes.
Okay.
But picking up a 4-on penalty there, so we have another 2-minute jam.
And Magnum is still on the track, so Magnum getting a little power jam action. And it looks like we've got a blocker apiece for both of these teams. So just a little 3-on-3 with our blockers for these two teams.
Yep, packs are even, but only St. Louis can score for now. And does so. 5 points on the board.
That is a familiar sight, I believe, for Magnum, seeing a little 5-point action. Going back around right now.
Penalty box is filtering out, and now both teams are back to full strength.
And we also have Candle Smash back on the track. As we said before, nobody's calling it off because we have no official lead.
Yeah, they can't. The lead had been awarded to Kendall Smash, but the lead was taken away when the forearm penalty sent Kendall Smash to the right L penalty box.
Easy come, easy go.
So only our jam timer can call this one off.
We like to give NSOs a little bit of power like that.
All power to the NSOs.
Oh, big smashing hit there. I do believe that was the Hulk delivering that.
Hulk smash. 1 point picked up by the green team. Makes a total of 5.
And that was 18 points for St. Louis Gatekeepers. So we're just going to give a little recap on that score. Magic City are on 46, still in the lead right now. St. Louis Gatekeepers with 73.
And that 18 points matches the 18 points that were put on the board also by Magnum in jam number 4, which was also a 2-minute jam. 4 2-minute jams so far in the period. Here we go into jam number 16. Gogo, who's jamming?
We have Metcalf jamming for St. Louis and Bratz jamming for Magic City.
All green at the top of the pack, all white at the back of the pack.
And we see the Saint trying to deliver a little bit of offense for Metcalf. And it looks like Just Mike delivering a little bit of offense for Bratz. You know, these two teams doing some similar kind of tactics.
The Saint called for a track cut, heading to the right L penalty box, so a blocker advantage now for Jacksonville. Forearm penalty coming in now, number 37 for Jacksonville. That's Beastie heading to the penalty box.
And both of these jammers having a little bit of trouble. We've got nearly 1 minute gone and only just had a lead call. But that lead call has gone to Bratz of Magic City, while Metcalf is still stuck in that pack.
2 leads in a row. 5:15, Just Mike trying to keep that jammer in check, but Jammer's able to complete the initial pass. And the jam is called before any points can be scored. Let's see what Magic City got. 2 points for Magic City, no points for the Gatekeepers. Makes the score 48-73.
And I'm just going to try and figure out that math there.
It's about a 3-2 margin. Give you divide the scores by 24. 24 times 2 is 48. 24 times 3 is 72.
See, I'm very glad that I am getting to call with the lovely Bobby Narco, because those math skills are something that, you know...
3 dozen to 2 dozen. No, 6 dozen to 4 dozen. Here we go. Meanwhile, out on the jammer line, Shane Bauer and Streak.
And we have a cacophony of whistles going on there. But that is Streak picking up lead against Shane Bauer.
That's 3 in a row for Magic City. Nice little outside, not really an apex leap, but a leap over blockers. Good for 5 points. Penalties coming in on the backstretch. That's a high block. With 3:14 heading to the right L penalty box, double XL to the right L penalty box on the high block. Fun fact about double XL, he can eat an entire rotisserie chicken.
I'm not really surprised. That man is hungry for action on track and hungry for chicken off track.
There you go.
Also a fun fact, while I was skating, I used to skate under 314, so I always know when double XL is on track because I recognize that number. We are number twins.
Both jammers putting points on the board. 4 for St. Louis, 16 for Magic City. That is their highest tally.
And that also brings this score to, I believe, 13-point differential.
Yeah, that increased their score by a true third. 16 times 3 is 48. 16 times 4 is 64. 4 points picked up by St. Louis brings them to 77.
And we also have 4 minutes left on the board in this fantastic first half of game number 5.
66 on the white team is Screech Around. Number 10 is Rollamite for the green team. Here we go.
Rollamite being shunted off the track there, as was Screech Around.
Someone got a low block. Who's leaving? It is Jammer. It is Rollamite called off on the low block. Lead is open and goes to Screech Around. First jam for the Gatekeepers since jam 13.
And also with Rollamite out of the track, that means that Screech Around has a power jam. And with only 2 players at the front, now joined by their opposing players. I was about to say it might be a little bit easier for Screech to get round, but those sneaky Magic City skaters making sure that they're making his life a little difficult.
Forearm penalty picked up. Jam is called. Who's leaving on the forearm? Looks like number 37 on the green team, Beastie, heading to the Rydell penalty box for a forearm violation. 4 points picked up by St. Louis, puts them at 81. No points for Magic City, keeps them at 64.
And we're just going to get a quick little peek at our penalty board. Magic City, number 37 having 4 penalties there. So that means that Beastie is towing that slightly dangerous line, whereas if we look over at St. Louis, we have Double XL is on 5 penalties, and 618 Led Zeppelin also on 4. Everyone else just a sprinkling of penalties.
1 or 2 here and there, just to season it. We have an official timeout.
And our official timeout is brought to you by Rydell, who are sponsoring the 2018 MRDA Championships.
Crowd picking up here as the day progresses, and I'm sure as the tournament progresses, it will continue to do so.
Yep, because this is just day 1.
Right.
We are 5 games in. We have 1 more game of the day. Who is playing our game?
Funny you should ask. That will be the Friday, 7 p.m. Bridgetown against Texas. Texas with a win over Denver, advancing to the winner's bracket. So it will be Bridgetown Roller Derby against Texas Men's Roller Derby at 7 p.m. local time.
Yeah, and we are getting everyone in position to start this next jam. That'll be jam 19.
Looks like number 10 doing double duty. Rollamite going to do 2 jams in a row.
And up against Magnum. And Magnum finding that inside line.
Nice block by number 44. Chef and a little wave to go with it.
Yeah, Chef was cooking something up there, knowing that Magnum was going to use that inside.
Draws a track cut, so a power jam for Magic City. And lead jam. 4 of the last 5 leads have gone to Magic City.
And we can see from that score has just got eking closer and closer. And you definitely don't want to give this jammer out there right now, Rollamite, any opportunity to speed up and put points on the board. So Rollamite with the lead, 5 points already.
Forearm penalty coming in. Who's leaving? There we go. White 515. Hulk 5150.
And that is 10 points on the board for Magic City. Rollamite putting on 10 points and bringing this game desperately closer.
Yeah, 7-point game, only a touchdown separating these 2 teams. 81-74. Sorry, an American football reference there. If you're watching overseas, a touchdown is an American football thing.
I'm now transplanted myself into the US, so it's very useful to learn this kind of terminology. The moment we have Magnum in the bin, and Kendall Smash probably keeping that 100% lead record right now if given the opportunity.
Picks up lead. He'll be 5 for 5, but no, into the penalty box on a track cut. Lead, I believe, is still open.
I feel like I shouldn't say certain things because the
You
announcers
ruined
curse.
his perfect jamming, Rick. It's all your fault.
It is all my fault. But we do have Magnum back, so we've had a little jammer switcheroo. A power jam now in favor of St. Louis Gatekeepers.
Whistle coming in. That is a lead jammer whistle. That does, in fact, spoil Kendall Smash's perfect record from the jammer line.
If Kendall Smash ends up watching this afterwards, I apologize.
Wow, nice little apex leap. Out completing the initial now is Kendall Smash. Nice block at the top of the back by 3 aces, Milo Garcia. And that should bring us to halftime. Neither team has an official review, so neither team can stop it from being halftime.
No.
I think we still have to wait the requisite 30 seconds.
And I think we have our clock going into halftime. So just looking at the score, Magic City are on a 74, St. Louis are on 89. This is a very close game so far.
Yeah, divide these scores by 15, and it's roughly a 6-5 margin in favor of St. Louis.
And we will bring you back into our the next half in roughly 10 minutes' time.
Yeah, we'll have some statistical analysis. Go refresh your beverage and come on back. All right, you might not be able to hear it at home, but we are grooving to the stylings of DJ Daniel Slay Lewis. We got a great game going on here.
We do have a fantastic game. We have the St. Louis Gatekeepers versus Magic City Misfits.
Indeed, and a 89 to 74 point game. Some brief statistical analysis in terms of lead jam. There have been 2 jams without a lead. St. Louis has had the lead 8 times. Magic City has had the lead 10 times. St. Louis has not passed the star. Magic City passed the star 1 time in jam number 5 to number 12, Becker. In terms of jammer penalties, St. Louis jammers have only gone to the penalty box 3 times. Magic City jammers have gone to the penalty box 6 times. There was 1 jam without any score at all. That was jam number 13. The jams without leads were jams number 4 and 14, and there were 4 2-minute jams in jams 4, 8, 10, and 15. High score of the game is 18 points by number 7 for St. Louis, Magnum. That was in both jams 4 and 15. And for the Misfits, 16 points were scored by number 19, Streak, in jam number 17.
And we have a little points per jam up on the screen, and we're also going to get rid of that now because it looks like we're getting ready to start some action.
All right, on the line now, number 10 is Rolomite, and we have Shane Bauer, number 32 for the St. Louis. And St. Louis with the first lead of the second half.
And that looked like a big sweeping hit there, but Shane Bauer kind of shrugging it off with his lead jammer status and coming round on a scoring pass now.
We did talk briefly about penalties going into halftime, or right before halftime. Magic City has 1 skater with 4 penalties. That's number 37, Beastie. And St. Louis has 1 skater with 5 penalties. That's number 314, Double XL.
And St. Louis also has 1 player on 4. That is 618. And I believe that's Bled Zeppelin.
And number 44, Chef, just went to the Rydell penalty box also. How about that? A 9-point jam to start the second half and bring St. Louis up to 98. Flips their score from 89 to 98. Magic City held scoreless, keeping them at 74. 24-point lead, and that makes that 6-5 margin into a 4-3 margin.
And if you've been paying attention during the rest of our games today, we haven't had too many scores that have been drawn out so much. Nice and close games, which is exactly what we want to see for teams of this level. We also like to see jammers on track, but it looks like Magnum is going to make us a little sad and go to the penalty box.
Yeah, heading to the Rydell penalty box on a track cut. Lead is open. Let's see if Streak can take advantage.
Streak putting a hand out, but staying in bounds and going back around to try and get lead assessed.
Becker heading to the penalty box for the Misfits. That is not good news. Becker is their leading fouler. Or among their leading foulers.
And it looks like we had a knock out to the inside for streak. And I believe we've got Magnum back on track. So that was a fantastic penalty kill for St. Louis, really holding a streak back and stopping any scoring happening.
Multiplayer block coming in. Still no lead established, and now there won't be a star pass to number 515. So this will
I think that is just Mike taking the star. So yep, we have just under 40 seconds left in this jam, and just Mike on a scoring pass, but Magnum also scoring.
Nice move around the outside by Just Mike. Good for 4 points. Penalty coming in. That is a back block. Number 618 on the white team, Bled Zeppelin. Heading to the Rydell penalty box.
Just Mike on a scoring pass, and I think Magnum also being drawn to the inside. Both jammers having a little trouble getting through. But we have got points on the board, 7 points to St. Louis Gatekeepers and 6 to Magic City. That brings our scores to 80 for Magic City and 105 for St. Louis. Century has been reached.
Yes. Triple digits have been achieved by one of the teams. Let's see if Jacksonville can't get up there as well.
And it looks like we have Bratz and Screech around as our jammers of contention for jam number 3 of the second period. I think Bratz is out but isn't lead. Screech around picking up lead and seeing that Bratz was out, calling it off. Some smart jamming from Screech around.
So nothing. Another scoreless, only our second scoreless jam of the game.
And I think St. Louis are putting up a new jammer.
What?
I think that is number 5 and that is Bruno Scars.
That is absolutely a new jammer. First time I'm writing number 5 on my score sheet.
And Bruno Scars, lovely footwork there, but I think that was a forearm penalty, but also Kendall Smash going to the box. So we are going to have another jam with no lead, and both jammers probably going to be released from the box around the same time.
Yeah, the footwork was fancy, but the arm work not so good.
That can be a problem in this game, having those pesky forearms getting in our way. But both jammers, I think, are they still on initials?
That is a great question. I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure on that, Gogo.
We will wait for our referees to give the signals.
They will tell
say.
us definitively.
Yes.
All of those skaters, 10 skaters densely packed into turn number 2. Now some separation coming and coalescing again on the backstretch.
Yep. The jammers hoping to see the wood for the trees, but our blockers stopping them from doing so.
Backstretch and home stretch are sporting terms that come to us from racing. Got a high block coming in. Who's leaving on the high block? That is number 12 on the green team, Becker.
Yep, and we have Bruno Scars, 1 to beat. I think that was Milo Garcia.
So Bruno Scars is completing the initial right now, as indicated by the jam ref. And that was also the initial. You were right. I was a fool to doubt you, Gogo.
I mean, you know, I won't lie. My skills in terms of rules knowledge isn't fantastic, but I do feel I know when there's an initial pass. I hope.
Great observations there. So many penalties coming in. I lost track, I got to admit. Let's get these points tallies and move on to the next jam.
Yep, just looking quickly at the score. Magic City putting 2 points on the board, bringing their score to 83. St. Louis putting 4 on the board, 109. But, you know, these are very close scores. These are 26 points between them.
Just pointed out by one of our production staff, number 618, Bled Zeppelin, sitting on 6 fouls for St. Louis.
Yep, one more and he will be out of here.
One more, might as well commit like 5 more at that same time.
No, don't encourage them to do stuff like that, because you know they will.
They can't hear me.
Yeah, but the announcer's curse could happen anyway. We have Shane Bauer out as lead, but I think we are also having the jam called off for an injury.
Yeah, that's the Magic City Jammer.
Okay, so we are currently having a timeout. We want to give a big thank you to Vault 31. Vault 31 Bar. Let Vault 31 be your destination for roller derby watch parties, esports, music, and more. Visit vault31bar.com for more information.
We've had quite a few Apex jumps during the course of this game, and that brings to mind Apex Wellness Center. Jump on over to Apex Wellness Center. They offer chiropractic massage and acupuncture to help get you back on track. They are located in Portland, Oregon, so if you are in the Pacific Northwest, you can head on over to Apex Wellness Center for integrated healthcare at its peak.
And it is very nice to see the Magic City down skater back on feet. You know, this is also a fantastic time, once again, to thank our volunteers, which also includes medical staff.
Sure.
We hope that, you know, our medical staff have a really boring weekend.
Right.
We hope they have a boring weekend in terms of
nothing
not having to do much.
Yeah, get to watch a lot of derby.
Yes.
We hope they get to see a bunch of great roller derby.
Yeah, but we definitely want to thank everyone who is volunteering at this fantastic 2018 MRDA Championships.
We'd like to encourage you at home to get involved with your local roller derby league. They are always in need of volunteers. Wherever you live, I'm almost certain you can find some roller derby near you.
Unless you live on the moon. And if you live on the
No,
moon,
Lunar
how are
Roller
you
Derby
watching this stream?
I think Russia's got a team. Meanwhile, Magnum and Rolomite are the jammers. Rolomite number 10 for Magic City, and Magnum is number 7. A familiar matchup.
Very familiar. As I've said before, these two are a little bit good at the jamming thing that they do. And, you know, we like to see them on track.
Lead jam to the Gatekeepers. 2 in a row, 3 of the last 4. The only one they didn't get lead jam, there was no lead jam. Forearm penalty coming in. And it's on Rolomite. A power jam.
And like I said earlier, you don't want Rolomite to have a power jam. You also don't want Magnum to have a power jam. These are two titans of the sport. And Magnum is going to be putting some points on the board right now.
Things are getting difficult on the backstretch. So the jam is called rather than fight through that abattoir.
We like to use fancy words here. I'm loving the use of the word abattoir for this.
That's where all the killing happens, is in the abattoir.
Exactly. But, you know, we've got some points on the board for St. Louis. 116 points for them. Magic City on 83. So St. Louis just bringing their lead just a little bit further forward.
Yeah, 33-point lead. Highest lead of the game, I believe. I might have had a 34 earlier. We had a 37 earlier. 43-6 back at jam number 7.
And it looks like we're having a team timeout. So we have Mr. Pink rallying the troops. We want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. Our jam line is sponsored by 5 Stride. Our penalty box is the Rydell penalty box. And our team benches are Apex Wellness Center. As we said, they are in Portland, Oregon. And, you know, roller derby is a tough physical game.
Yeah.
It's always good to make sure that you are in peak physical condition by getting involved with, you know, massage and chiropractic.
And a great place to go is Apex Wellness Center. If you are in the Pacific Northwest, head on out. Want to give a shout out to Wolf. Wolf is following along, and Wolf likes the math on the fly.
Yeah. Wolf is, I do believe, affiliated with Manchester. And probably watching all of the fantastic action back at home in the UK. If you are watching, you know, feel free to let us know. We do try and pay attention to social media sometimes. I don't know if we've got any Twitter going on or any hashtags.
Yeah, I don't think we've put those out yet today, so why don't you do that right now? Talk to MRDA, is that the hashtag we're working?
I'm not entirely sure. We will have that confirmed.
And while we're looking at that, 3 lead jams in a row for the St. Louis Gatekeepers. This time it's picked up by Shane Bauer.
Shane Bauer currently at the front of the pack, just shaking off some of that defensive work, picking out 5 points for his troubles.
Scoreboard showing that there was only 1 team timeout, and it was just now taken. That there was all the stoppages of play in the first half were either official timeouts or official reviews. So the first team timeout taken was the one that we just had. Forearm penalty coming in. Who's leaving?
I think it's Rollermite leaving. Rollermite going into the penalty box. I don't know if that was a forearm. It might have been the Hulk delivering that forearm penalty. But we've got a couple of players sort of making their way over there right now. And we've got a couple of players in trouble as well. As we said earlier, Double XL, and we've also got Blood Zeppelin on 6 penalties. But joining him on 6 penalties is Chef from Magic City. I don't know how many penalties we have exactly. There's a spattering going on there. I'm not saying that men's roller derby is particularly penalty heavy, but you know, when they go for it with gusto.
They do indeed, and it also I think depends a lot on the team. There are certain women's teams that are foulier than others. There are certain men's teams that are foulier than others.
And looking to make sure he stays on track, we have Screech around as the jammer for St. Louis.
Picking up lead at 4 in a row, 5 of the last 6. No, that lead is being waved off. Lead is still open. Forearm penalty.
That was a cut track. Or was it a forearm or a cut track?
Oh, it's a cut. It's a cut. And now it's being, the jammer's being waved back on. So does that make them lead now? They had lead, and yes, they are lead once again.
A little bit of confusion, but we
couldn't have said if it was a cut track or a forearm, so it's nothing. Come on back, your lead.
You know, it might have been us cutting the track with our words, our vicious words as announcers.
We do have a star pass now, where 5:15 has got the star. Who started as the jammer for Magic City?
That was Rollermite.
It was Rollermite, okay, from the penalty box.
Passing to Just Mike.
Gotcha.
And we've seen both Just Mike and I think it was Becca wearing our pivot cover quite a lot. Both of them, I'm assuming, kind of relief jammers. They've been doing some lovely work on track. And, you know, it's very good to have strong pivots on track, because there are times when, you know what, you need that break and you need somebody to give you a help.
Always good to have someone who can jam with that pivot cover on. Out on the track right now, the jammer is Metcalf for the Gatekeepers.
And it is Streak for Magic City. Streak being drawn back by 82. I think that is Percy control.
Penalties coming in all over the place. A track cut penalty called on Streak. Jammers have been in the box 3 of the last 4 jams for the Misfits.
And we have lead being assessed to Metcalf there.
Misfits have yet to pick up lead jam this period.
Which we saw, was it 10 lead jams in
the
first period?
They had more lead jams than the Gatekeepers in the first period. They led 10-8. That's a 4-point pass. A 5-point pass for Metcalf.
Yep, I think we're seeing a few more jammer penalties here, which is really hindering Magic City's progress. And, you know, the last couple of jams, St. Louis have done some fantastic work. That is a very, very strong score right now. Magic City are on 83, St. Louis are on 148.
They're on a 39-0 run. Gatekeepers are on a 39-0 run, going back to jam number 5. Going back to jam number 6.
And we have Kendall, Smash, and Magnum up as jammers. That is Magnum picking up the lead. Very quick work there. It feels like we've got a slight micro pack going on, because we have 2 players for Magic City in the box.
Track cut called on the Misfits jammer. That's 4 jams out of the last 5, and 5 jams out of the last 7 that the Misfits jammer has been in the penalty box. Makes it hard to get lead when you're sitting there in the Rydell penalty box.
It's also making it hard to get points.
Yep.
And right now, you know, St. Louis are beginning to run away with this score. I'm going to take a guess that Magic City might have a timeout in the next jam or two in the hopes of maybe stemming the bleeding with penalties.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in the St. Louis locker room during halftime, because something is certainly said that turned on the Jets, and St. Louis is showing why they entered as the number 1 seed.
Absolutely. And we are now seeing that is that an 80-point differential? No?
Almost, nearly 77.
Okay. There we go. See, this is why Bobby is with me, because my math is bad. I feel like I need an abacus beside me.
I'll be your abacus. Starting from the penalty box is the Misfits jammer, number 21, Kendall Smash. And the only jammer on the track is Shane Bauer, picking up lead, number 32, for the Gatekeepers.
Kendall Smash is back on track, though. And
not for very long.
That was a back block being delivered to Kendall Smash. So in and out.
Track cut picked up by number 8 on the green team. That is Icky, heading to the Rydell penalty box. So jammer advantage and pack advantage to the number 1 seed.
And they are just going to keep putting points on the board right now. We have 10 so far. And okay, we're going to call it with Kendall Hand locked in the box. So we will start the next jam, jam number 12, and a power jam start for St. Louis.
That means Kendall is going to be jamming 3 jams in a row. Can't get out of the penalty box. Started out as a jammer, picked up a penalty, then picked up a penalty, then picked up a penalty. 3 jams in a row. We're going to be Kendall with 2 of them starting from the penalty box. Timeout.
And timeout being called by Magic City. What was that?
Genius.
In the last 2 jams, I may have said that.
Nostradamus.
Yes.
Go.
Yes. My crystal ball is predicting a team timeout for them, but that is going to give them a little opportunity to sort of bring that back in. You know, how many jams have we had with St. Louis running away with this score?
Since jam number 6, St. Louis has put on 22, 29, 39, 49, 61. 61 unanswered points since jam number 6.
Yep, and with Kendall Hand starting in the penalty box and being joined by another blocker. I can't quite see the number, but you know, we'll get to that as soon as we can. But no, this is a perfect time for Magic City to call that timeout. You know, teams end up having a bit of penalty trouble sometimes, but having a timeout, just getting everyone a little breathe, a little calm. And I'm also going to pay attention, I think, to that pivot for Magic City. I do believe that is just Mike. If I'm going to make a prediction, I feel like Kendall might want to do a star pass.
And good person to be wearing the pivot cover, Just Mike, has been inheriting the star already twice this period. Maybe not inheriting, but being gifted.
Gifted that. Also being gifted right now is Screech Around, gifted with lead jammer status. Ooh, and I feel like a little tumble there. But everyone is okay.
Yes, initial pass completed. No penalty on number 21. 21 gets to head over to the bench. The benches are sponsored here by Apex Wellness Center. So number 21, Kendall Smash, finally able to make his way over to the Apex Wellness Center bench.
And out of the Rydell penalty box.
Yeah, there you go. 172 to 83. 91-point lead.
And we talked a little earlier about the last time these two teams faced off against one another. It was 2-10 to 1-1-1. So the Gatekeepers are nearing the score differential that they had with the last game.
Yeah, could be pretty close to a rematch of that. St. Louis actually on par to go over that score. Direction of play penalty coming in. That's number 151 on the green team, Mr. Lead jam has gone to St. Louis once again.
That was Bruno Scars, and because Bratz got out of the pack but didn't pick up lead, Bruno Scars going, you know what, I'm calling it. We're in the lead right now, and I don't want to give them the opportunity to get any points. And that's kind of the object of the game.
Right, our third scoreless jam of the half, our fourth scoreless jam of the game. Keeps us at 172 to 83.
If you are watching at home, we have two fantastic teams, St. Louis and Magic City, and 11 minutes left in this game. But we have one more game as well. We have Bridgetown versus Texas. And what we also have right now is Shane Bauer versus Rollermite, and Shane Bauer with the lead.
Bridgetown, our co-sponsor, along with Lane County Concussion. Or co-host, co-tournament host.
And what a fantastic day we have had so far. I'm assuming if you're watching, you're going to watch the rest of the weekend. And I think you should, because so many amazing games coming up.
Yeah, we've already had a lot of amazing games, and we're not even fully through the first day.
Nope.
There's the rest of this day and then 2 more days.
And you know, if your friends are thinking about getting a watch pass, I would highly encourage them to do so, because you are getting a fantastic men's roller derby right now.
We have a star pass now. Star pass to 5:15. Just Mike.
And Shane Bauer looking to call that off before Just Mike could get any points. And we have 103 points standing between these two teams. This is math I can do.
Yeah, I was going to say, you did it. You did the math.
I can do the math. But yeah, 103 points between these two teams right now. And we still have 10 minutes left. So I'm going to say 100 points as a lead. It's not necessarily insurmountable when you have 10 minutes left.
It is not, but Misfits haven't got lead jammer yet this half.
Yeah. And Streak is looking to change that.
Hey, look at that. Jammer's curse goes the other way. The Jammer's the announcer's curse.
Yep. The announcer's curse, and Streak picking up lead and looking to pick up some points.
Great opportunity for them to put some points on the board and shut out St. Louis on that jam.
There we go. 4-0 jam in favor of Magic City. So that's the first time in how many jams that
Since
they've got?
jam number 4, first points on the board for Jacksonville since jam number 4. Big shout out to the roller derby community in Jacksonville. Lots of fantastic roller derby going on. And I hope all the Jacksonville skaters, referees, coaches, announcers are watching this broadcast right now, rooting for the Magic City Misfits.
Yeah, I think we've probably got a lot of derby fans who are also skaters enjoying this fantastic tournament so far. And we are enjoying the work of Metcalf and Kendall Smash right now.
Multiplayer block sends number 37 to the penalty box. That's Beastie. Two leads in a row now for the Misfits. First time they've strung 2 leads together since jams 16 and 17 of the first half.
And Kendall Smash on that scoring pass right now. It looks like teammates trying to offer a little bit of a goat situation.
Oh no! 2-minute jam. That jammer penalty is low block. Was that a low block? I'm putting it in my book as a low block. That's what I think I saw.
We can check those stats momentarily. I will check that for us now. I think
21?
that was a
was a track cut? All
It
right.
was a track cut. And right now we're seeing Magic City having some penalty issues. We have 4 skaters on 6 penalties right now. That is including our jammer at the moment. That is 21 Kendall Smash.
And 7 jammer penalties in this half alone. For the Misfits, only 2 jammer penalties for the Gatekeepers this half.
Yep, whatever that halftime talk was from Mr. Pink, Downtown Dallas, and High Definition certainly worked for St. Louis. They have now broken the double century. That is 201 points and 15-point jam so far for Metcalf.
And still 7 minutes and change left to play in the matchup.
I think Metcalf is currently watching the jam clock.
15 ties the highest jam of the half. 18 ties the highest jam of the game. This time it's not by number 7. This time it's by Metcalf. Magnum had 2 18-point jams in the first period.
Yep, when you let those St. Louis jammers go, they will try and put a lot of points on the board. But Magic City also picking up 4 points there, and they are eking their way towards the century.
Screech Around and Rulamite are the jammers.
And we have a very spread out pack there, and it looks like Rollermite might be picking up lead jammer. Yep, that is Rollermite as your lead jammer for
That's
Magic City Misfits.
3 in a row. Christopher Harrell heading to the penalty box for Magic City.
And Rollermite doing what he does best, which is jumping that apex, getting some nice air, and putting some points on the board.
Penalty coming in. Track cut. Who's it on? Oh, it's on the Gatekeepers jammer.
There is Screech Around going to the penalty box. So this now gives a power jam for Magic City Misfits. Rollermite on another square pass has hit the century now. That is 100 points for Magic City. But this jam ain't over yet.
There's even more. Up over the century mark. And back to that 99-point lead, which was the final margin when they met at Brouhaha.
Yep. And we still have 5 minutes left in this game, so we'll see which way that circle goes.
Forearm penalty assessed on the St. Louis co-captain Percy Control. Percy Control now in the Rydell penalty box.
And we also see Rollermite going into the Rydell penalty box. So that will release Screech Around.
Penalty on Rollermite was a track cut.
With 9 seconds left in this jam, we'll see Screech Around trying to put some points on the board. And picking up another penalty.
And Rollermite did get out of the box, so we're going to start with a power start for Magic City.
And right now we also, that was a 5th penalty for Screech Around. So a little bit of trouble there. I don't know if we can quickly cut to our penalties right now. I'm going to do this ever so quickly. And then I'm going to go back because gameplay has started.
Bratz on the line for Magic City. Score is 206 to 109.
And we are nearly round back to the jammer line before lead jammer has been assessed. That is Bratz as lead jammer. And coming back around on scoring pass. That is a very tough wall to come up against. We've got the likes of Double XL, Bled Zeppelin, Saint.
Yeah, work it out. Star pass for the white team.
No, no, that wasn't Double XL. I apologize.
Well, they're big. They might be wearing a Double XL, even if it's not Double XL.
I mean, basically, you put any of the Gatekeepers in front of me in a wall, and I'm probably not going to want to jam.
I'm going to want to cry.
Yes. And kind of the same with Magic City. We've seen some amazing work. Missed Her and Just Mike. Yep, just Mike on track right now. Have been doing some fantastic work, as has number 69. That is Christopher Harrell for Magic City.
Penalty box is empty. Let's see if we can't change that. Lead jam to the Misfits.
Yep, Streak just streaking his way through. And we've also got Bruno Scars going to the penalty box. So this is now a power jam for Magic City. And a double apex jump there, I think.
Wow. Harold to the penalty box on a forearm. So each team with one skater in the penalty box. Just happens that the skater for the Gatekeepers is the jammer.
I think a high block maybe being assist there to, that was double XL. And Streak being pushed out there.
Illegal contact on the pivot, number 73, Kyle Stark for the Gatekeepers.
Both jammers are now back on track. Bruno Scars trying to hustle through while Streak is having a winning streak when it comes to this jam. 14 points so far, and still just under a minute left in this jam.
Untouched through the pack for another 5 points.
And I mean, we are just 1 minute left in this game, and this is the kind of jam that Magic City probably wanting a little bit earlier, but better late than never. 19 points. We'll see if any more are added. Up 21 points in that jam.
Biggest jam of the game for anybody.
Yep. Fantastic work by Streak there. And we are looking at that has pulled the score back for Magic City.
Quite a bit.
We have 2:06 St. Louis, and Magic City are on 137.
That was bumped down to 20 points from rather than 21, but still a 71-point lead for St. Louis.
And I think, was that lead being assessed? No. I think
Track cut being assessed.
that was a track cut being assessed.
On Bratz.
Lead going to Magnum.
First lead for the Gatekeepers since Jam 14, ending a 5-lead jam in a row streak that the Misfits had been on.
And we see a Magnum just rolling there as he checks that board and sees that our jam time has come to an end.
Turns around and gives a big hug to Mr., letting everybody know that, hey, we might be rivals on the track, but once the final whistle blows, we are all brothers in roller derby.
Exactly. We have an unofficial score right now. That is 211 to St. Louis Gatekeepers and 137 to Magic City. So, yeah, we kind of looking at a victory for St. Louis. They are the #1 seed.
Right.
So that is now official. We have an official score. St. Louis Gatekeepers winning their first game of the tournament with 211 points.
So slightly different outcome. When they met back in June, the Gatekeepers scored 210. Today they scored 211. Back in June, the Misfits only scored 111. They improved that by 26 points.
Yep.
So although the Misfits did come out on the bottom half of the bracket here,
Yep.
still an improvement over the last time these two teams met.
Absolutely. And, you know, all of these games are kind of learning curves. And, you know, when you come up against a team over and over again, you're going to see little changes in scores. And, you know, we like to see these games be kind of close.
Sure.
And we like that score was a little bit closer than it was last time.
Right, every little bit helps. We're going to get a victory lap here. Teams are going to be taking their victory laps. I think it's time to sign off.
I think we are just waiting for an interview. I think we should maybe talk a little bit about the penalties, because I feel that might have been part of the reason we had Magic City
Sure.
Not doing.
Yeah, Raucus is down there. He's ready to do the interview. He is raring to go. He's got his top hat on.
Yeah.
No one can do it quite like Raucus can.
Absolutely not. So we're just looking at the penalty board. A lot of penalties for Misfits,
Yeah, we did
which
have a
might
foul
have
out.
hindered their progress. Yeah, Becca fouled out. And then we'll just take a quick look at the penalties for St. Louis now. And you know, we had a couple of people, Led Zeppelin and Double XL and Screech around at that sort of worrying mark.
The Bauer boys completely clean. No penalties for Nate Bauer or Shane Bauer.
I'm going to assume that they are related, so their parents must be proud at their nice, clean game.
TV show in the 50s called The Bowery Boys. I wonder if these guys ever go by the Bowery Boys.
We are seeing everyone doing victory hugs, which is really, it's one of the nice things in roller derby.
Warms the cockles of my heart.
Exactly. I think we should have a little look at what we have tomorrow.
All right.
Do you want to tell us our games for tomorrow?
Let me grab my bracket. So starting off first thing tomorrow morning, let's see, Saturday game 1.
I think that might be Toulouse versus New World Order.
Yes, yes. I like it. The roller derby Toulouse versus actually the winner of Lincolnshire and Manchester.
Yep, that was New World Order, which is Manchester.
All right.
I think we have somebody already in place, so we're going to hand it over to Raucous Ron. I have been Go-Go Boots.
I'm still Bobby Narco. We wish you peace, love, and roller derby.
What's that? All right. You guys are live. You are on camera. Fantastic. I'm Raucous Ron here with Shane Bauer of the St. Louis GateKeepers. Great second half there. You guys really came out in the second half and put it on. So what do you think was different about the second half than the first half in terms of like your team and how you approached it?
I think generally we're a very deep team and we're very grindy. And so in the beginning we can kind of start slow and just kind of work our way through and make our adjustments. And so in the second half, I think that we just had the advantage of depth and we had the advantage of grinding as much as possible in the first half. Second half, I think we just brought the same pressure, if not more, and it went in our favor.
Fantastic. Well, we've seen you evolve from a talented young skater, and particularly myself being from Missouri as well. It's been really cool to see your evolution as a skater and the way you've grown into one of the top competitors in the world. So how do you think that playing on a team with like St. Louis that is really the top team in the world right now has added to your growth and helped you to develop as a skater?
Honestly, I wouldn't even be the person that I am today without them. When I started, I couldn't skate at all, and they took me from somebody who couldn't skate to somebody who can go to a champs and play in these games. I always know when times get tough during an actual game that things are going to be fine because I go against the best 2-3 times a week, 4 to 6 hours a week, grinding out as much as possible, and I know that they're out there. I know that the people I hate going against are going against our opponents, and it's not a fun position to be in. So, yeah, being with them just prepares me for the best.
Yeah, that must be absolutely incredible to be playing with the best in the world. So, speaking of the best in the world, this has grown into truly an international sport, and we have a great international representation here at this tournament. So, who are some of your favorite skaters in the world who are, contributing or doing great things?
Oh, it's amazing how, I mean, with five of the 10 or 12 teams here are international. That is fantastic. Right off the top of my head, I got a shout out to my boy Shrooms. Got to keep the youth in this. He's over in England. When I went over to Barcelona for the World Cup, I met a jammer named Goofy from Italy. I want to give a shout out to him, man. I think he's great. There's all kinds of dudes. Nicholas Rage is out there. All the guys from Canada, and a huge shout out to the guys from Japan. I mean, I think they embody what it is to be international derby. They just want to play, and that's what we all want to do. So the international scene is immensely impressive, and it just continues to grow and more. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if at a certain point there's more international teams at champs than there are American teams. So we'll see.
Absolutely possible. We've seen it explode all over the world. So great interview, good times. I look forward to seeing you throughout the tournament and your team. So best of luck. Congratulations on this victory.